right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt.
Are you serious, Coach?
That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Yak, 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 yak.
865-255-03 is our telephone number to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. You are listening to the Swain event this morning, 8:50 a.m., 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Thank you if you are on the app, free for Android Apple devices, where you can take the show anywhere in the world. You can access podcasts from previous days. You can communicate with us on the text box, comments, questions, and we will answer those questions and we will address your comments live during the show. You can stream us live at swainevent.com. The show is fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hello if you are listening and watching on Swain Event TV, Periscope, Facebook, Live, and YouTube. That is driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain on a beautiful Wednesday in East Tennessee, 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Good morning, individuals. Nice hat, Ben. Nice shirt, Charlie. You guys are looking nice.
I'm not on the 3-stripe life today, but I am on the switch life. It's hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
One day closer, man. One day closer to game week. One day closer to the game.
Does this bring us into single digits? Single-digit days until football?
I don't think we're there yet.
We are in terms of college football in general because we're 8 days away from college football.
Sure.
Because next Thursday.
Yeah, 1 week away tomorrow.
Technically, there's college football this Saturday with a couple rinkety-dinkety games.
Is there any D1? Is it
yes,
FCS?
There are multiple D1 games. There's just not any really even mid-level. There's not even like a Memphis type of school playing. But I'm going to be honest.
I'll still watch.
If I wasn't traveling to St. Louis this weekend on Saturday, I would be watching the games. It's UMass, Rice, Hawaii at Colorado State, Wyoming at New Mexico State. But like UCF plays UConn next Thursday. Texas A&M plays a rinkety-dinkety school, Northwestern State to be exact, next Thursday. Oklahoma State. Northwestern at Purdue, which will actually be a pretty good football game.
Yeah, like ESPN doesn't recognize this coming Saturday. It just skips right to week 1.
Well, Wyoming at New Mexico State on Saturday night is on ESPN2. In Hawaii, or in the Rice game, is on ESPN Plus.
Here we go. I found them.
So yes,
I'll still watch.
At the end of the day, we are single digits away.
Yeah, Give me Hawaii and Colorado State. I'm there.
I'll
Any
watch
chance you watch any of it?
Oh, I'll watch college football. I'm watching college football.
College football is college football to me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. 10 days until Tennessee kicks off against West Virginia. And
4 days till game week.
4 days until game week. I'm trying to put my words together here so it doesn't get taken out of context and then I am labeled as a butthead here. But I'm going to say it anyways and just pray for the best here. Okay?
All right.
West Virginia, they've had some sickness because they're not using Perel because they're being nasty, breaking rule number 1 on the Swain event. Just nasty, walking around. Just wash. You got to wash your hands when you use the bathroom. Just nasty. And don't touch the rail when you go up the steps. Show some balance, okay? Why you got to touch everything? That's why you're getting diseases and stuff.
I mean, they are defensive football players in the Big 12. That's asking a lot of them.
Nasty.
And can we touch on that just a little bit?
Yeah.
They got hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is was it 4 players, I think? 4 players on the team that came 5.
Now, I don't believe they ever said they were players. It said 5 people within
around
the
the team.
program. So it could have been trainers, strength and conditioning, things like that.
But adults nonetheless, who are around this football program. And I looked it up when I first saw that, and it is most commonly in infants, like in little children, and somehow it has found its way into West Virginia's football complex. And also, I from what I can tell, it's very, very serious. I mean, basically,
it's contagious.
These guys have to be quarantined, and the areas that they've been probably need to be deeply cleaned. It's not something to play around with. And I was just when I saw that that's what it was, I was like, what?
They're nasty.
How did that even get there?
You're just being nasty, man. That's what West Virginia's all about. I told you.
The long and short of it there.
I told you. You look at their mascot, and he just looks like he's musty. He looks disgusting. So not surprised that you've had some people there getting sick, and thankfully it's not too serious where it's life-threatening, but it is definitely disgusting. So you have that, okay? And then you have one of their DBs hurting his hand, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. They're down to like 5 scholarship DBs. And so
Josh Palmer somewhere smiling right now.
Don't pretend like you ain't smiling as a Tennessee fan. Now, you hate it for the young man anytime a player gets hurt, but it doesn't make you a bad person if you're like,
what is going on here?
Advantage for Tennessee wide receivers. I like it. I remember when Cal had a player that tore his ACL. Actually, their start corner tore his ACL before we played Cal in 06. And it was the reason why Robert Meacham had a redshirt freshman corner on him. And Meacham went for like 200 yards. So those injuries can be a big factor in the game. So you have that. That's number 2. And then you have Dana Holgerson making excuses. Preseason. It really sounds familiar. Preseason. Dana Holgerson sounds like a former Tennessee coach that talked about 3 games in 13 days. And, oh, my gosh, because, it's not like your players are in shape when they're young and not able to play and run around and play football. I mean, it's not like you have 80-year-old men on the football team and they need 2 weeks to recover.
What you're saying, he sounds like Crocodile Lyle?
Man, he sounds just like Crocodile Lyle and Lyle Jones, intern Jones. Sounds just like him. Dana Holgerson making excuses about how Tennessee gets more practice time because of the school schedule. Wait a minute. I thought West Virginia was a team that was favored by 10 points, 10.5 points. I thought West Virginia had the Heisman Trophy winner on the team already. I thought he already won. I thought the trophy was already in Morgantown. And someone already tried to light it on fire with the couches and the mattresses. I thought that already. I thought they already won 12 games. why are you making excuses if you're Dana Holgorsen? Is it you're trying to make it seem like if you win the game that you overcame the odds? Get a Tupac tattoo against all odds, Dana Holgorsen, right there in your arm, against all odds, because Tennessee gets to practice way more than West Virginia. I mean, honestly, we kind of need it, but you're supposed to be the team to beat. You're making excuses. I said the same thing now that I said a couple months ago, actually, when Butch Jones said it going into the Georgia Tech game. Why would you give your kids any reason to make excuses for themselves? You don't think they're going to think about that? Well, Tennessee is practicing more than us. Well, our coach Butch did say we played 3 games, 13 days. Man, it is going to be tough. You've already defeated yourself in your mind. You can't give your kids excuses if you're a coach. It's such an amateur move. Listen to the big-time coaches. Listen to Nick Saban. Listen to Urban Meyer. He's a big-time coach. Listen to those guys. Do they make excuses in the media for their team? They don't make excuses.
Urban has been making some excuses lately.
He just makes excuses for not doing the right thing. When it comes to X's and O's, he doesn't make excuses for his team. He makes excuses for not dismissing a coach who's just a
nasty human being.
Who's just a freak. He's a freak. Dude, don't get your stuff sent to the complex from Amazon. Be a little bit smarter than that.
You sounded like Dave Chappelle when you said that.
He's just a freak, man. But you don't make excuses for your team. So it seems like each and every day we're getting more and more confident, except Ben, more and more confident about our chances against West Virginia because West Virginia is giving us stuff to feel confident about. Player hurt. Coach making excuses. And then the team just being nasty, failing to use hand sanitizer.
Now,
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
I will say I will be the villain today, as I have been in terms of the West Virginia-Tennessee game.
Don't do it, Ben.
It is a defensive player that was hurt, not an offensive player. Tennessee is still going to have to stop West Virginia from scoring, which is the only thing I am concerned about regarding this football game. I'm not, as each day goes on, I'm more and more confident that Tennessee will be able to score on West Virginia. The question is, how much will Tennessee be able to score on West Virginia? I think it's going to take 31 to 35 points to win this football game. Is Tennessee capable of scoring 31 to 35, 38 points to win this football game? I'm not confident that they are right now.
They're losing a DB, and they're down to 5 scholarship DBs. You don't think that can help Tennessee be able to score those points?
I just said I do think it will help them. But, again, Tennessee's defense has to be able to stop West Virginia's offense. I do agree. The comments from Dana Holgorsen are kind of funky. Butch Jones-esque.
Soft.
If I was a West Virginia fan, I'd be very frustrated.
Soft.
Only 29 players on our roster have ever played in a neutral site game in Charlotte before. I'm not sure that we're going to be prepared adequately.
We've only had a quarter of our team that have ever flown on a plane. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Is the plane playing in the football game? What? What are we talking about?
That was one of the underrated dumb comments from Butch Jones that does not get talked about enough.
That was one. There were, I would say, only a handful of moments where during a press conference, guys in the actual press corps heard what Butch said and then looked around like, wait, what? And the 29, whatever it was, we only have so many guys that are flown on a plane that have ever played an away game, whatever it was. That was one of them. That was a classic where guys actually in the room when it happened were like, what?
Like Butch.
What does that have to do with anything?
At West Virginia, classes start on August the 15th. Tennessee's classes start on the 22nd. Quote, they get about 5 more days of unlimited time, which is, if you add that up, that's probably an extra week of work. Once we got into the 20-hour rule, they got extra week of work. Oh, my gosh. Soft.
Tennessee.
S-O-F capital T. Soft.
Tennessee by 40. I think that's what Dana Holgorsen.
Soft.
quick. You're gonna be like Daffy Duck and you're gonna start spraying me like Lou Holtz.
Soft.
Or Skip Holtz, whichever one it was.
It's Lou
right now.
It's Lou. Soft.
All right, Lou.
With a capital T and a bunch of F's in there. 865-250-503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Be right back.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain event.
And you know this, man.
Let's get to DR Vol on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant. DR Vol, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Man, wonderful. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Just on my way to drop the kids off daycare. I was going to give a little insight on the hand, foot, and mouth disease. I actually had it 2 years ago, and that is by far the worst thing I have ever had. And I've had broken bones and burns on my leg from dirt bikes. It was miserable. I mean, not to get too graphic, but it got to the point where I had toenails that fell off.
Ooh, man. Whoa. How long did it take you to bounce back?
It took me about three weeks.
3 weeks?
Wow.
I'm raising both of my kids. I'm mama and daddy, so that was awful to do. I had to drop my kids off with my parents, and I was out of work for a while. I work in the medical field, and I just couldn't do my job with heat makes it worse, and wearing gloves all the time. I don't know how severe their case is at West Virginia, but I know it's highly contagious, and I don't see those players being ready even by next week.
Man,
wow. How did you get it, if you can say, just out of interest?
I got it from my kids. They say kids give you everything.
Yeah.
And my kids were 1 and 3, and they the gift keeps giving with daycare.
Yeah. Man.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, when I went into the clinic, I actually asked to be put in the hospital. I was in so much pain I could hardly walk. I mean, it was. I didn't know adults could get it until then. I mean, they never even taught us that in school, and it was by far the worst thing I've had, and I've had shingles.
Wow. Let's knock on some wood in here, man. 'Cause
yeah.
You can't get
Not
that.
trying to get that.
Oof. Can't get that at all. Wow.
Stay away from those West Virginians.
Yeah. So around Noah, they've got. So look at Will Greer's feet.
Man. Oof. Hopefully it's not Will Greer. Hopefully Will Greer doesn't have it. Wink, wink. That would be terrible.
Yeah. I'm gonna hang up. Listen, guys.
Thanks,
I
guys.
just want to give my insight on somebody that's actually had it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
That's crazy. I know. I guess it's case by case, obviously, but I know a pitcher for the Yankees and Mets, Noah Syndergaard and Jay Happ, within the last month, they each had it and had to miss a start. They were only out for 4, 5, 6 days, so I guess it varies. It seems like D'Arval had an extreme case.
Oh yeah, man.
That sounds rough.
That does sound rough. Dana Holgerson. I think this is a flaw in how the NCAA does their preseason practices. Talking about one team who starts school early, they put themselves on the 20-hour rule clock, okay? So once you start class, you got, 20 hours in a week that you can do football-related activities. So that includes practice, that includes film. 20 hours where they can hold you, okay? When you're not in school, you can spend as much time on football and films as you want to. So technically, Tennessee could do a 24-hour practice or a 24-hour film study. Is it a little unfair? Yeah, sure. But there's things you just don't mention out loud. Like, there's just things you just don't say out loud. There's some things you just keep to yourself, okay? Kind of like wanting all the credit for the Schiano stuff. It's like, yeah, maybe people have a point. But you know how you look, acting all thirsty, wanting credit for what happened with Tennessee and Schiano? Like, it just don't sound right.
You
okay?
look like a middle schooler trying to get credit for starting a fight.
Yeah, it just comes across as kind of weak. Same thing with Dana Holgerson. It's like, yeah, it's an advantage. So what? You teach your football team, and here's the thing that I love pointing out with coaches, is that they're hypocrites. They preach all the time about weathering the storm and doesn't matter if the team has this advantage. It doesn't matter if you're hurt. Go get the play done. It's about the results. But then on the other hand, publicly they complain about this a week and a half before the start of the season. If you're gonna say this like months ago. You knew the class schedule months ago. It just comes across as a little weak, and I think it gives the wrong message to your football team. The wrong message. If I'm a player on the team and the coach comes in and he's like, guys, it's sprinkling outside a little bit. It's not ideal. We're gonna practice inside today. It's not ideal today, guys. We're gonna practice inside. It's sprinkling. It's just not ideal. Or, hey, guys, it's 95 degrees. It's too hot to practice outside today. You know what? We're gonna practice in the air conditioning. How do you think your team is gonna play on Saturday when it's 95 degrees or when it's sprinkling a little bit? Mentally, they already put in their head that they're at a disadvantage. So they're going to make excuses for themselves if they don't make the play, if they don't win. So you got to be careful what message you send to your team if you're a coach. It's an excuse. Who cares? Who cares? Go play, man. You've built 3 years for this team right here, Dana Holgorsen. You have a Heisman Trophy candidate, and Will Grier, who may be a first-round pick, second-round pick. You've had all summer to build chemistry. Tennessee's 4-8. You making excuses? Come on, man. It's just a little weak to me. A little weak.
Yeah, I think mentality is so important that saying something like this, that's gotta in some sense be well, is damaging too strong a word? Not helpful for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think it's damaging.
Yeah, I don't think
it's going to change the outcome of the football game.
I think it could.
I don't think it will.
You come in with the wrong mindset.
I think it could,
man.
Yeah.
I don't
could ruin you.
I just don't see Will Grier or David Sills Jr. or Greg Jennings coming in with the wrong mindset.
But those 3 or 4 guys don't make the team. It's the mentality of your whole entire football team that win games. It may not affect those dudes because they have an NFL future and they don't care about what is said. They got a family to feed. They want to take care of business. But you got to make sure your entire team is mentally into it. What happened at Cal 2006? That was a team that everybody was locked in and focused, and you saw the result on the football field. We've seen over the last 2 years where Tennessee's been the most talented team, or the last 3 years where Tennessee has been the most talented team, but because of the mentality that we did not have, you saw the results on the field that was not ideal. It didn't match the talent and the experience that we had playing. So mentality is everything. And one guy, not mentally where he needs to be with everybody else, could cause you to lose a game. If Tennessee wins, West Virginia's not going to point to Dana Holgorsen's comments. They're not going to point to, this particular thing is the reason why, West Virginia, lost. But you can't sit here and tell me that it won't play a part in it if West Virginia comes out and they play flat.
I mean, it's the dude at the front of the room saying stuff.
He's your leader, man. He sets the tone.
I just kind of maybe this is a poor correlation on my part, but I think back to last year when Butch Jones was spouting off his BS just before the Georgia Tech game about 3 games in 13 days or whatever he was saying. And then Tennessee was, unlike their coach, was able to come out and be mentally tough in that first game. I mean, that football game was a roller coaster of emotions. And if they were buying in to the philosophy of Butch Jones, I don't think if they were mentally weak, they don't win that football game.
They did it one game. Yeah, they did it one game. They did it one game. They came back because of a heroic play by Rashawn Golden. And it gave our football team hope. It gave our football team energy, and we capitalized on that. But we were sleepwalking for a while during that game. That was one game. You still had the excuse that you played 3 games, 13 days.
Yeah, I look at that game and I say Tennessee should have won in regulation by double digits had they been in the right mindset. They're way better talent-wise than that Georgia Tech team. I mean, they were unprepared.
They played flat.
Their head wasn't in the
for
right
half
place.
of the game. How do you play flat? How do you play flat in your first game of the season? I mean, how do you do that? Remember App State the year before? How do you play flat in your first game? You should be playing with your hair on fire because you're so ready to play football. So you don't want to give your team an excuse. It's like being a parent and you tell your kid, you're a little sleepy today. It's okay if you don't do well on the test. No, you still got to do well on the test, sleepy or not feeling your best or not, because guess what's going to happen when you get in the real world? You're going to not feel your best, but guess what? You're going to have to do the job. Your boss is going to expect the job to be done. No one wants to hear your excuse. No one cares. I can't recall Coach Foreman ever giving us an excuse, ever saying, hey, it's okay, man. This didn't happen for us or that didn't happen for us. You accept it and you roll. LSU game in 2005, there was a Hurricane Rita, and we were supposed to go down on a Saturday. No, actually on a Friday. You fly down on a Friday. You do your walkthroughs, you do your meetings, just like every normal away game. And then you play on Saturday. Well, the game was postponed to Monday because of Hurricane Rita. That came right after Hurricane Katrina. all the hotels were taken on Sunday. So we had to fly down on a Monday, the day of the game, and then play the game. Imagine flying and then playing the game on the same day. There's jet lag. Everyone has jet lag when you fly. There's a time when you need to kind of readjust your equilibrium and all that stuff. And for the first half of the LSU game, we was getting killed, getting smashed. What if we would have lost that game? You think Tennessee fans would have cared if we came back and said, gosh, cut us a break here. We had to fly the same day of the game and play. Who cares? You gotta go play. So that's why I don't like the excuses coming from the leader of the program. I just think it's weak. I think it's weak. I think that they saw the practice videos of Trey Smith, and they was like, "Hey man, we gotta come up with an excuse here. Whew. Hey, somebody pass some of that disease around a little bit. We gotta sell this excuse." Y'all see Trey Smith? He pushed like 2 dudes down.
I was standing right in front of. I have got a video of it, so
gotta go to break.
Saw with my own eyes.
Swain event. Be right back. We'll go to the phones after this.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Having surgery can be scary, and having to navigate around a massive medical center can be even more overwhelming. Fortunately, the premier office-based surgery center in Knoxville offers a convenient and affordable option for surgical care. Our skilled surgeons and friendly staff treat you just like family. Everything at our state-certified accredited center is designed with your comfort in mind, and Premier offers flat fee, package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia procedures. Visit PremierSurgeryPackages.com for more details. The Premier Office-Based Surgery Center. Surgical expertise you can trust.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain event.
Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
All right, it's time for Around the SEC, and then we will get to the phones after we talk about what's going on around the SEC. First, and really the only thing I want to touch on inside the conference, and that is Texas A&M. They have themselves a bit of a problem because a former player who went with Kevin Sumlin, seems to Arizona, has come out and made some very strong claims about some NCAA violations. A former Texas A&M linebacker who is trying to get a transfer waiver so he can be immediately eligible there at Arizona. He basically said that while he was hosting recruits, that he received $300 in the bathroom and $400 in June to host another prospect. He also said that he was given this cash, and he also cited that he was put through some unfair treatment by the medical staff. They pushed him to work through an ankle injury in an attempt to change the culture of the program. And listen, I'm all for a young man blowing the whistle on a school or a medical staff that is not practicing the right techniques to make sure that guys are healthy, guys are not making the injuries worse. And it's always a fine line between being hurt, being injured, playing through injury, and being smart and doing what's best for a young man's future long term. So I am sensitive. I usually tend to side with the player at the beginning, as long as the player doesn't show that he's just using his excuse or he's soft. But we've seen at Maryland, we've seen Tennessee make some changes to the medical department. They're not doing everything they should be doing all the time. That's right, okay? So I tend to side with the athlete there. But snitching on Texas A&M, that you got paid extra money to host recruits, what kind of move is this? Why would you put your former teammates in danger of getting in trouble? These are supposed to be your brothers. If you get $400, man, you better pocket some of that. You spend $200 on a recruit, you pocket the rest. Or if you spend the rest on a recruit, great, you've helped that team get a really good player. This is a punk move by this young man. And if I'm an Arizona player and this guy's coming to my team, I'm watching him. I don't trust him. It's ways to get back at your team. Don't hurt the entire team doing that. So Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street Design. And what they do is everything. If you need branding, custom web design, logo design, or print design, call Mike. That's what you need to know. Call Mike. Mike runs the show over there at 42nd Street. Marketing 865-382-7007. Go to their website, 42sd.com. Call them or fill out a website form if you're interested in a website, interested in business cards, you're interested in marketing. They do a great job, and they are right now going to revamp the Swain event website. So that's going to be coming out here soon. We're going to get a whole marketing plan here for the Swain event. So I'm really, really pumped to be working with 42nd Street Design. So go to their website, call them, and they'll get you set up. Let's go to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, and let's bring in Vol Nation. Vol Nation, good morning.
Good morning, man, family. How y'all doing, man?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I was listening to you. I said, oh, man, Swain got some of my material.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I stole your thunder a little bit there. I apologize. Hold on, Vol Nation. Let me give you credit. Let me give you your credit, Vol Nation. I don't want you to get upset with me.
No, it's all good. It's out there in the news anyway, man. I'm glad you guys brought it up because I was reading through. I printed out different articles and things of that nature, and one of the things that jumped out at me was an article written not too long ago, really, on a deeper look into the football depth crisis. And so when I looked at that, I looked, like you said, at the sickness, the virus that came out, and then I started fleshing out a few other things. So it looks like, they're putting out all their deficiencies. Like, of course, they only got 5 scholarship corners right now because Jake Long suffered a dislocated wrist, so he's gone. So now they're looking at that. And the only experienced corner that they actually have now is Bailey. And so they got Derek Pitts, who just moved from safety over to cornerback, and they've got Keith Washington out there and Josh Norwood and Jordan Adams. And most of these guys are really just coming into the program. And so most of these are JUCO players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, looking at Keith Washington, he just came into the program. Josh Norwood literally just walked in this season. And so, and then as far as depth-wise, they had another guy named Jordan Adams that was 5'11", 175 pounds. He left the program for some reason and decided to come back, and he really hadn't had many reps. So, you know, they're throwing out all these excuses about how little depth they have, how the lack of experience they have, especially in the secondary. Then you look at the defensive line, and they said that they only have 16 starts returning at defensive end, and 13 of them came from one player. You know, and so they're putting out all this stuff, and they've even had some issues where some players were going to come, but they decided not to come, so they were kind of bailed on them. This kid, Dominique Harrison, that was coming from Ben College, you know, as far as a JUCO player, ended up going to Arizona State. And so as you start fleshing this thing out, I was picking up a scenario, and this has been going on not just, you know, like in the past few weeks. It's been going on. They talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the year, but it's really picked up steam, I think, probably in the past 2 to 3 months as I start looking at different articles. And I start thinking, like, are they really that nervous about playing us? Is this for the season or is this specifically us? But then, like I said, with these recent things that have come out, you know, I was like, wow. And then you look at the size of these players. When you look at just the defensive front, you know, they've got 3 starters. Jeffrey Poole, who's going to be a redshirt sophomore defensive end. They got another guy, I'm sorry, not Jeffrey Poole, Ezekiel Rose, I'm sorry, first-team player, 6'2", 276. He's a senior, 276 pounds. All right, he's playing defensive end. He's coming off. He's 6'2". But then your nose tackle, first team, is 296, 6'1", sophomore. All right, and then people that are backing him up are some of these grad transfers and freshmen. And so even at the defensive line, they're very inexperienced. They're a little undersized, you know, so they're dealing with their quickness. And then you look at the linebackers, the only one really, you know, to really focus on would be the one that has made a lot of tackles and been all over the news recently, and that's David Long. Mm-hmm. All right, David Long, he's 5'11", 221 pounds, redshirt junior, and they put him in the category what's the guy that graduated from Georgia last year?
Roquan Smith?
Yeah, they said that.
Please.
They said in the voting category pertaining to his stats and things of that nature, he was just a couple of digits off of his performance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're just trying to hype him up a little bit for whatever reason, but when you look at the totality of everything all the articles I printed, all the things that I'm researching, I'm seeing a lot of excuses going into the season, particularly on the defensive side of football. Now,
that's what I'm hearing too, Vol Nation. I'm hearing it too.
That's encouraging me because I'm thinking here like, okay, now offensively they're explosive. They do talk about the offense, talk about Will Greer and all these other things, and all the wide receivers they have, which are all over 6'2" and whatever. And you know they've got this 5'6" guy that they're talking about that's really explosive as a wide receiver that they can have coming out the backfield, getting him in space and all that. So they've got all this creativity about the offense, but the defense, I have not seen. One article that said really much of anything positive about the defensive side. And all I see is areas of weakness. And so, once we mentioned before, if we can exploit that by going and being physical, having that offensive line, we run between the tackles, and we do the things we're supposed to do that Tennessee football used to do.
Yeah.
You know,
if we can do that, Vol Nation, and we gotta let you go because we got 2 more callers, and then we gotta take a break. But there's some things that you pointed out that I want to get back to. But let's get to Trevor. Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Trevor.
Hey, a couple things real quick. One, what Vol Nation was talking about, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you said, why would you give your team any reason to be like doubtful of themselves?
Yep.
I mean, you've got Will Greer that's your Heisman favorite. You've got all that he's on the preseason All-American list. Like, why are you acting like there's anything to be worried about? I mean. To me, that just seems like that's going to trickle down to the players because I feel like attitude's a lot of your play too. But
exactly, it is.
Anyways, one other thing I wanted to ask you about. I was reading yesterday at the practice reports. I think it was Patrick Brown had commented. I know you've talked about this before. about, when the wide receivers line up, like who's in the front of the line and who's leading the lines.
Yep.
And I think he said, one line, Marcos Callaway, of course, was leading, and then he said the other line, Josh Palmer was in front. And he said then you had Juwan Jennings behind Josh Palmer, and he said on the other side you had Cedric Tillman behind Marcos Callaway. And I'm just thinking, is that something that makes you raise an eyebrow, or is that just is that a factor of Jennings being hurt, or should he still be leading the refs even though he's coming back from injury? So I'll get off here and let y'all talk.
Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, what you're probably seeing is hearing that's probably just routes versus air, and that's usually the period that Tennessee allows the media to view, and so that's why you saw Jennings behind Palmer, or you saw Tillman behind Callaway. That's because Jennings he's fourth. He's behind Josh Palmer. He's been out. He's working himself back to being healthy. He's working himself back to being on this football team, and he's on this football team, working himself back to being a leader that people can listen to. Juwan has leadership qualities. He just used them in the wrong way last year. But Juwan is someone that has instant credibility inside the locker room. He's made plays. He's tough as nails. And so he is second behind Josh Palmer. When I look at who goes in a line, I look at when there's like a one-line drill. So all the receivers in one line, they're working on the drill. Who goes first? That tells me a lot about that group. I know one thing. When the defensive line, we got to go back to the phones. When the defensive line is going, they're doing a drill, Cal Phillips is up front. And no one fights him on it. Cal Phillips is up front. And that just tells you a lot about that group and Cal Phillips. There's no question. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's get John in Gainesville before we take a break. John, good morning.
Hey, just kind of mentioned it really quickly about Kyle Phillips. Those players that were really highly ranked coming out when they first came here, I'm really excited to see what they do under this new coaching regime. In your opinion, what's your opinion of what's going to happen with Kirkland? Because I'm afraid the more as time goes on, I know they're saying they're just giving him rest and all that. Do you think when it's all said and done, he's going to get much meaningful snaps, or is it just going to be one of those what could have been stories? And then, under your opinion, what is the biggest benefit under this coaching change so far? Obviously defense, but just fluidity of the team and stuff. But what player do you think is really going to benefit the most, whether it's defense or offense, whatever you think? Me personally, I think you just said it, Kyle Phillips. I think he's going to be, wow, he really is going to benefit from all this. But what's your opinion on Kirkland? Is he going to wind up playing for us? Because I think that's really going to make a big difference in our defense if he can.
I will definitely touch on that, John. Let me see, write that down. Kirkland, and which player is going to benefit the most under this new culture, this new coaching staff?
Great questions.
We will take a quick timeout and return with Attaboy here at the Swain event. Hour 1 is driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Today looks to be partly sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Patchy fog Thursday morning, then clearing up with sunny skies and a high of 82 and a low of 60. More sunshine on Friday with a high in the mid-80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
All right, it's time for Attaboy on the Swain event where we highlight positivity. A lot of positivity going around in the world, and we're going to highlight it right now during this segment. Attaboy is brought to you by Premier Surgical and PremierSurgical.com.
If you've ever had surgery, you may have experienced sticker shock afterwards when you received all of your bills. Thankfully, there's the Premier Surgical office-based Surgery Center in Knoxville over on Paper Mill Drive that offers flat fee package pricing for basic laparoscopic, gallbladder, and hernia surgeries. Just one price, one bill, and you know all of that cost up front. It's exceptional care and at an affordable price. Go to PremierSurgeryPackages.com today to find out all of the details. Let's have a quick attaboy for former late-night talk show host Jon Stewart. Now, I know among folks he's a divisive character. He's very, very left-leaning. Forget about that. This is not about politics. This is just a good deed that he did. This report that I'm reading is actually from the BBC. I could read it in like a British accent. For many New Yorkers, a Monday morning subway commute is an experience they'd be delighted to avoid. But so on the Monday morning subway commute, there were a set of goats that ended up in the middle of the tracks on the subway in Brooklyn, New York. And Jon Stewart just happened to be in the area. Now, you don't know, he's actually a big advocate for animals. I didn't know this about him. He actually has an animal sanctuary on the farm that he owns in New Jersey. He opened it in 2015, and he just happened to be in the area and helped the New York animal control wrangle these animals and get them to a place where they could be taken to an animal shelter. So Jon Stewart doing a good deed yesterday. It did not go unnoticed. Even, goats are not dogs or cats, but they need love too. Goats are, I don't know that I've ever interacted with a goat, but either way, attaboy to Jon Stewart. Good deed for him.
I don't have attaboy today.
I don't need it, to be honest with you.
All right, so we can just go with one today. I'm good right there. 865-255-03. Yesterday, I wanted to give my attaboy during attaboy to Gavin Bryant, who was a former player here at Tennessee, who's now at EKU, and now he is a captain, and also Nico Kramer, who's a former player who's at EKU, who was a captain this year. I wanted to give my attaboy to those guys yesterday. Didn't get a chance to do it during the show, but I'll mention those guys right now because I didn't do it yesterday during attaboy. So glad that those guys have bounced back. They're partnered with a really good coach in Mark Elder, who's a good dude, and I think he's one of the best young coaches in college football with a bright future. So let's go to the phones right we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time, Titans-Bill. We're gonna have to get to you on the other side.
We want to give Titans-Bill the full allotment.
Yes.
We don't want to cut him short.
What he deserves.
Yeah, because we got about 30 seconds. And I don't wanna box you in, Titans-Bill. I wanna allow you to be free.
Spread your wings and fly away.
Free. Just like the animal cracker animals on the front of the box. They've been locked down for so long. I didn't even know this actually until Peter got into the mix and made the animals free on the front of the box. We want Titans-Bill to feel like that animal. I want him to be free. So we'll come back after this break. We got touchdown turnover coming up next.
Love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man.
I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
Had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress back-to-school bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
I got about 7 names that I wrote down here during the break of players that would benefit the most under this new coaching staff and Pruitt, this different culture. Obviously, everyone has an opportunity to improve, and I think it's going to benefit everyone, but 7 names really stood out to me. That is part of Touchdown Turnover today, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. I got Kyle Phillips, Jonathan Combo, Balin Buchanan, Jennings, Drew Richmond, and Najee Warrior. So I lied, 6. Jonathan Combo is the player that will benefit the most under new culture, under this new coaching staff. He's been out there with his comments, talking about the culture change and really speaking about how he feels as a player. Touchdown turnover, is Jonathan Combo the guy for you that you think will benefit the most from the new coaching staff? Touchdown turnover.
This is a deep question that requires a lot of thinking. So on the fly, I say turnover.
Just your opinion.
On defense, probably so. But as a whole, I think it's going to be Jarrett Guarantano. And I think you've kind of seen that within the conversations amongst fans about who is going to be the starting quarterback, because you have had guys that have come out and said that the quarterback race is all but over, that it's Jarrett Guarantano's job to lose, and if he's really, the only way Keller Chris starts is if Jarrett's injured, and have given Jarrett a 99% chance to start. I've seen some places. Then you have others come out and say, no, Keller Chris is starting. Why would they bring him here other than to start? And I think that is because very few, or many rather, do not have a lot of high expectations for Jarrett Guarantano, or very down on him because of what happened last season under a Butch Jones / Larry Scott offense. And because of that, I think people are really sleeping on Jarrett, and I think he's going to be the one that benefits the most in terms of how he is viewed as a whole from the fan base. I think that can only just be positive going forward now that he's actually in a legitimate offensive system and not some made-up elementary offense that runs left, runs right, runs up the middle, and then chunks it deep on 3rd down and prays for a miracle. So I think Jarrett Guarantano has the most to benefit now that he has actual coaching.
I I think that answer very well could be the case. Like you said, this is something that would take – I would need to really sit down and think about this more than just doing it in a segment on radio. But
oh, my gosh.
I just got to consider all my options. There's a lot of dudes on the football field. I mean, it just is what it is.
Team.
Yeah, but I'll say I like combo. I think initially that is what I would say. So I'll say touchdown, just because he's so influenced by external elements. It seems like he just is, like he seems like he would be very affected by the culture. He has obviously said that he is, and I think he's not as experienced in football as a lot of these guys. He hasn't played competitive football for nearly as long as a bunch of the other guys on this team, and I think it makes him a little more susceptible to that sort of stuff. And so yeah, I'll say he has a lot to benefit from with this new staff, and ideally he can finally ratchet up his play to where it needs to be. Finally realize all of that potential that he has physically, which is off the charts. But he just has to come into his own, has to get his head straight. And I think he will at least partially get there with this new staff.
I'm gonna go turnover. Jeremy Pruitt being a corners specialist coming in, bringing in T. Ferry. You got Charles Kelly there. You got 3 guys in place that can really help this secondary. I think the easy answer, if you want to say who can benefit the most in a huge way that's going to be noticeable, is Nigel Warrior, because he's gifted so much physically, but the mental part of the game is why Nigel didn't hit the football field the first day he stepped on campus, and it took some time learning the defense. It's easy to look at Nigel Warrior, but I look at the cornerback position, and you look at Balin Buchanan, a kid that was here already, a kid that was buried on the depth chart last year, and in 1 year now he's starting. I'm going to say Balin Buchanan. I think Balin Buchanan is a guy that will benefit the most under Jeremy Pruitt because of Pruitt's specialty at corner along with Terry Fair. John from Gainesville asked a good question about Jarron Kirkland Jr. I think there's a place for him. There's a role for him. I think there's going to be some situations where you're going to have Sapp and Batuli and Kirkland on the field at the same time. You're going to have some of your best tacklers who are not small like Schamberger. There's going to be times where you're going to have extra DBs out there and less linebackers. I think Kirkland Jr. is one of our best football players on our team, but he has to get healthy. I just feel so bad for him because the surgery that he had, it just seems like it is not taking hold. It seems like it's taking him a long time to get back, which explains why the changes with the medical staff. But I want to see Kirkland. Golly, I just want to see him be very, very successful because he could have left. He did come in. He had a great start to his career. He was highly recruited. He does everything right. He's super smart. Already got his degree, and I just don't want injuries to mentally put him in a spot to where he doesn't feel like he's the same player or he can contribute to help this team win. So I wanted to make sure I get to John and Gainesville's question. Let's get to the phones quickly. We got Chris Lowe joining us on the other side of the break for our Wednesday segment here. We have on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, we have Mr. Titans Bill. Titans Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm wonderful, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Jason, I heard of a big recruit. His name is Malcolm Wissensnuck.
Okay.
He happens to be the second cousin of Leroy Buffsack.
I was going to ask you that.
And he's 6'6", tall, tall as a tree.
Tall as a tree.
And I mean, buddy, the guy can hit.
Where's he from?
Pickle Patch, Georgia. Not even on the map.
Pickle Patch, Georgia. 6'6" hitter. Wow.
Defensive end.
Wow.
Got to get him an offer. Where's Tennessee?
So check him out, Malcolm Whistlesnicker.
Malcolm Whistlesnicker.
Yes.
You think Sabinocho wrote him a love letter yet?
I don't know.
Does he have dreadlocks?
I have no idea on that either, Charlie.
So no, you have not seen a photo of this gentleman.
No, I haven't, but I've heard about it.
So you're talking about J.J. Peterson.
We got to get some tape on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just J.J. Peterson.
Yeah.
Titans Bill.
He's going by, I guess JJ's going by an assumed name now. Sounds like.
Couldn't get into school, so he's got to go by a different name to try to get in.
Go by a different name, going by a town that can't be found on a map, you know.
Are you breaking
Makes
news
sense.
on the show, Titans Bill?
Makes sense.
No, I'm not breaking any news. I'm not breaking any news, buddy. I thought I'd have a little fun with you.
Well, Titans Bill, I thank you, man. I appreciate the phone call there. Malcolm Whistle
Snicker.
Yeah. Whistle Snicker. Okay.
If it was J.J. Peterson,
5-star.
I give him credit.
Yeah.
It's a creative alias.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Let's get to Foxball. Foxball, good morning.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you. Sound great.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to call in yesterday, but I didn't quite get a chance. Just touching on a little bit what you were talking about with Garantano and Chris and the quarterback battle. It seems like, like you guys have said, so many people are hearing national media, and they look at how far Chris traveled from Stanford over to here, and everybody keeps saying, well, look at Garantano's year last year, or he's not going to come that far just to sit on the bench. And the biggest example of how I can say that none of that has anything to do with anything was Jonathan Crompton.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the year he had in 2008, people wanted to practically kill his entire family.
It was sad, yep.
And in 2009, Kiffin comes in with a whole new system, and Crompton lit it up. He did great.
Yep.
I remember that game against Georgia. He threw for like 37 touchdowns. It was insane.
Yep.
So, and to touch on your point too about which players will benefit the most, I think it will be Garantano, and I do think that combo on defense. Just seeing the articles and stuff, but I think that both of those guys. So I'll take it off the air and appreciate you guys' input on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Foxball. Some really good points there. You throw in Ainge in there too, man. Ainge was trash in 2005, and then he came back and he had a great year in 06. He did. What you laughing at, Ben? We forgot about the LSU game?
Hey, all I know is
what it is.
It's 10 days until football season. That's all I know.
Dude, it is what it is, man. No shade, but that was the most embarrassing play in football, to be honest. It was bad. It was trash.
Was it worse than the butt fumble?
Yeah, it was worse than the butt fumble. It was bad. It was a bad play. It was terrible. And then he came back the next year and did a great job as a junior. And then the senior year, man, he was a stud. I'm just calling like I see it. So what you did last year doesn't have any effect on what you did this year. It's a great point by Foxball bringing up Jonathan Crompton. I'm throwing an Ainge in there too from 05 to 06. Absolutely. All right, Chris Lowe, he was down there in Alabama. Down there with the Tide over the last couple days. Chris Lowe, ESPN, joins us next on the Swain event.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Joining us on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline is Chris Lowe. His segment is brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, where they specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, treating damaged ligaments, tendons, joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow and foot problems by injecting with stem cells, PRP. This form of treatment is now more and more popular for those that want to avoid surgery, but you still want that relief. You can do that with a very, very easy procedure. Just go in, see my guy Mike Carlson there at Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. They do a great job. Website, trsportsmedicine.com. CeeLo is down there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Jason. Good to be with you on this Wednesday morning. I'm actually in Auburn right now. I was in Tuscaloosa yesterday, but I'm on the plains right now, so I'll be going over to see Gus Malzahn a little bit later this morning.
Well, Mr. Chris Lowe, you know Tennessee fans, when they saw your Twitter account, saw that you were at Alabama, you know what they wanted to ask you. You know what they wanted to see. They wanted to see how the former Tennessee coach was doing down there, Mr. Butch Jones. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I'll tell you what, I got to see the whole Tennessee contingent and talk to him down there. Butch Jones, Bob Weldon, Jonathan King, Butch's son, all of them there. I got a chance to talk to all of them a little bit. I was with Coach Saban for part of the day, and then I got to go to practice. But, yeah, they're all down there and all wearing Alabama crimson now.
Little weird there, Chris. Anyways, Tennessee's quarterback battle. I had on Austin Price yesterday, VolQuest.com. He basically said that Jared Guantano's the guy, and really they're trying to just find out who's going to be the number 2 right now. Maybe that's the hold up in the announcement. Lo, what can you share with us about the Tennessee battle from your perspective?
Yeah, that was my read. It has been my read for really a while. It was sort of Guarantano's job to lose, and I don't think he's lost it. I think he's the more talented. He gives them more of an option, Jason, to do different things in the offense, really to unlock that offense. Keller Chris is a kid who's smart. He has played. I think the reason they brought him in, 2 reasons: A, to push and to challenge Guarantano, and B, to have that second guy. I mean, how many times have we seen the one guy go down, and there's just nobody else ready or experienced or ready to step on that stage, and the season turns into a disaster like at Florida State last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why they brought him in. And I always felt like, in talking to some folks over there, that Jeremy Pruitt wasn't as confident that he could come in and be the guy, and that maybe Tyson Helton liked him a little bit better. He'd seen him; he'd been out in the Pac-12. Either way, Guarantano is, and I agree with what Austin said. He's the guy, unless something crazy happens between now and the opener. But I think that's the way they've been proceeding now for a while.
Chris, I have a couple questions for you here. First, I want to circle back to you talking to Butch. I just want to know, because he was at Tennessee, he was so conscious of what other people thought, and he's kind of become the ridicule of even Alabama fans at this point, and of course the entire fan base too, or Tennessee fan base too. What is his demeanor like around when he's around Alabama?
No, he was. I think he's in a good place, honestly.
Okay.
He's and he understands that he sort of has to get back out there and, I won't say reprove himself, but listen, he's at a place where a lot of people have come, a lot of coaches who haven't worked out for him for whatever reason, and they've gone and they've worked under Saban and they've got other chances. So from that perspective, he's really sort of where he needs to be. And I think that's the way he's looking at this. To do whatever he needs to do to learn as much as he can under Saban, to see it done maybe in a different way. He and Mike Loxley, the coordinator at Alabama, the offensive coordinator, are friends, known each other for a while. I think that's a good relationship. No, he seems to be in a good place, and we didn't talk much about Tennessee. He was asking me some of the places I'd gone. He was asking me about Nebraska because, the Martinez kid, I think, is going to win the quarterback job at Nebraska. Of course, Tennessee probably was going to get him had Butch stayed at Tennessee. So that's the type of conversation we had. He's, I think he really is doing his best to look ahead and not so much live in the past. And you're right. I think at times he was guilty of that. We probably all are. I know I have been at times in my life. But he's in a good place. He's got his son there with him. His oldest son is there helping out. I just said Bob Welton's also there, and so it's. I was kidding them all. I said, we need a picture of the contingent and put it out there. And I said, no, we better not do that.
Yeah. Tell them thanks for the for all the great recruiting, ties in the state and all the great moves on the roster. We really appreciate that. Thanks for the parting gift there.
I will share this with you. I told a couple of them, we were talking about it. I said that, until Jeremy loses a game, I said, Butch, you're going to be public enemy number one until he loses a game. And when Jeremy loses one, then that all shifts. Because in the SEC, Jason, you know how that works.
Oh, yeah. Got to win the first one, man. It's going to be rough if you don't.
Well, Chris, my second question for you, you're touching on a little bit there. You talk to so many coaches around the league. If you've talked to them at all about Pruitt, what is the feeling on him around coaches in the SEC?
Well, that he's sort of what we're saying. He's a relentless recruiter and is going to work that part of it as hard as anybody. And really good evaluator. I think that's the thing that everybody, when I talk to people about Jeremy, is that he knows exactly what he's looking for in a football player. The traits, the characteristics, what's going to work in his system, what won't work. And he's pretty good about sort of sifting through the BS when he's talking to people on the recruiting trail about whether this kid will work, what his work ethic's like, can he take hard coaching, how quickly can he learn? Because that's the thing to me that's underrated on the recruiting trail is how quickly kids can learn and process, grasp concepts. But I think that's the thing that everyone talks about when I talk to him about Jeremy. And he's just, he's a little bit of a bull in a china shop, but I'm not so sure that Tennessee doesn't need that right now. Now he's going to have to learn. There's some finesse from time to time when you're wearing all the different hats and being a head coach. And as I've told you guys, that's where I think the people that I talk to about Jeremy, and you start talking about strengths and weaknesses and concerns, the concern, and I think this would be the case with most first-year head coaches or first-time head coaches, is how does he evolve in being that guy who manages an entire program and deals with everything on the periphery that you have to in the SEC as a head football coach. But as a coach, as a ball coach, as a guy who can recruit, and a guy who's going to get in there and be a part of everything. I mean, you guys have seen him on the practice field. I was watching Saban yesterday. I mean, Saban's in everything. He's in every drill. He's in special teams. I mean, he's coaching as hard as he can coach from flex to the end of the practice, and Jeremy's the same way.
Yep. No, he is. Got a chance to go to practice yesterday, and Coach Pruitt is very, very involved. Speaking of new coaches that have to manage everything inside the program, and one coach who made a move inside of the conference has experience in that department, won a championship, but a report by a former Aggies linebacker suggests that he alleges that he took some money from a coach, way more money than you're given to host a recruit. And he's trying to, I guess, blow the whistle on his former team there, former Texas A&M linebacker. How do you think Jimbo and Texas A&M will handle this situation?
Well, and I did read the story last night when I was as I was headed from Tuscaloosa to Auburn, and I know it's something that they're going to, you read the A&M statement, they're going to take seriously. They're going to look into it and see what's there, what's not. I think we're going to see more players now are probably more, or feel and probably are more empowered, Jason, than they've ever felt, as far as, as the push and the narratives out there about whether they should be paid or get a bigger piece of the pie. And I think especially when it comes to what's voluntary and what's involuntary as far as practice and workout, the whole 20-hour work week, et cetera. And that's the part I think there's going to be a heightened awareness on, and probably should be in college football, especially with the horrible news out of Maryland with a kid dying in the off-season program. There are going to be more eyes and more scrutiny on that than I think ever before. So, again, these are allegations. Was this kid disgruntled? Probably, to some degree. I think you're going to see that more, the kids that leave or maybe go to air the dirty laundry more than it used to happen, whether it's true or not true, or the truth somewhere in the middle. The fact that he's saying he got more money than he was supposed to get for unofficial visits to take out kids. Well, I'm just going to say that it's not politically correct. But if they're going to throw the book at A&M on that, they're going to have to throw the book at a lot of schools.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why the comments kind of bother me. Because listen, if you want to speak about how your injury was not handled properly, right, that's fair. That's fine. I get it. That should be definitely brought to light, because you're dealing with someone's long-term health, maybe their chances to play in the league. But you're blowing a whistle that you got paid more than you should for unofficial visits. Come on, man. How do you look at this guy on, if he goes to a new team, Arizona, whatever, and you're an Arizona player? How do you look at a guy like this, man? It's just really petty. It's it just tells you a lot about this kid. He says, how they tip people in Vegas. He handed the cash, in his hand. Oh, he had the cash in his hand, and he handed it to us here with the handshake. Really? You snitching about that? It's just weak, Chris. It's just so weak, man.
Well, and you know what? Listen, if they did that, if that happened, then it's illegal. We know that. But you're right. I think you nail it. You played. You understand how teammates think. What are those kids at Arizona thinking now about this guy? But the bigger issue, and I want to be clear here, is if his injury was not properly handled or managed, or they were negligent in any way, I think that's to me the more egregious allegation here.
Yes.
And especially now, and I think it's a good thing that there are going to be more eyes, and there's going to be more of an awareness of off-season stuff, of kids taking care of kids health-wise. And listen, as I travel around the country, I can't tell you, these training staffs, I was just in Alabama. Jeff Allen, their trainer, is to me one of the best in the business. I mean, the care and how diligent they are, and that is really the rule in college football. Just like reporters and broadcasters, attorneys and CEOs, there are some that screw it up for everybody else, and I'm sure that's the case, in that profession. But I think there's going to be, but especially because of what happened in Maryland, there's going to be a lot more people looking into that and watching it. So if what he says about that is true, then I think that's the part of it that maybe A&M has probably got the biggest issue with. I talked to some people there last night. Is this just a case of a disgruntled player airing some dirty laundry that, again, maybe some of it's true, some of it's not? I don't know. Is it a tip of an iceberg of an underlying issue there at A&M? I guess we're going to find out.
Chris, we're 10 games out from Tennessee's opener with West Virginia, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more next week. But I want to get your overall thoughts on Tennessee, West Virginia. Are you buying into the West Virginia hype? That offense seems loaded, but the defense seems like it lacks depth. But a lot of people are picking West Virginia to upset Oklahoma for once and win the Big 12. Are you buying into the West Virginia hype, and where do you stand about a week and a half out on the West Virginia-Tennessee game?
Well, if you're going to win the Big 12, you're going to have to score lots of points. I mean, that league it's sort of ice hockey on a football field. It's up and down, and I think they're equipped to do that. Now, at some point, you got to play some defense, and you can't win every game 48-45. So, yes, I do think they can be a factor of the Big 12. I don't think they'll win it. At the end of the day, I think there's going to be a couple games where you got to make some stops. You got to be good enough on the defensive side of the ball. And I don't know that they are. For Tennessee in that opener, I think it's tough sledding because that's probably a game where it's just hard for me to picture it. Maybe, I'm completely wrong here. Tennessee winning a 21-17 game against these guys, or a 24-20 game. I think they're going to have to score a lot of points. And is Tennessee equipped to do that? Well, maybe. If they can run the ball, if everything works. See, I keep going back to this. Everybody asks me about Tennessee. A lot of coaches on the road, of course, they know that that's my alma mater, so they always ask me about the Vols. And my answer is always the same. So much of it hinges on Trey Smith and Chance Hall and that offensive line being healthy and staying healthy for most of the year. Now, rarely do you get through a season with just 5 offensive linemen. Okay, it just doesn't happen. But if the ball bounces just right for Tennessee, those guys are really good football players. And I think that enables Tennessee to shorten some games and to run the football and play the way Tyson Hill wants to play. I'll tell you what Spurrier was telling me. He'd watched the spring game and seen some tape on offense. He really likes what he's doing with fullbacks, H-backs, throwing the football to some of those guys. So if they can stay healthy up front, man, and guys, I think that changes the game for them offensively, because then if they can possess the ball and keep a guy like Will Greer off the field and run the football short game, and then hit some plays down the field, then they got a much better chance to be effective.
Chris Lowe, ESPN here on the Swain event. So you're going to Auburn. You've already been to Alabama, 2 opponents that Tennessee will face this season. A lot of talk about maybe Auburn having a chance to be the second or maybe the best team in the SEC. What are you expecting there in Auburn, Alabama, to see from the Auburn Tigers?
Yeah, well, I talked to Kevin Steele last night on the way down the defensive coordinator at Auburn. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what I can tell you definitively about Auburn. They've got the best defensive line in the league. Nobody's better up front defensively. As you know, Jason, that's always a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to win a championship. Here's what I don't like about Auburn. Their schedule, I think, is probably the toughest schedule in the country. Go look at the teams they play away from home this year. I think they play 4 top 10 or top 15 teams away from Jordan-Hare Stadium, starting with Washington and Atlanta. Now, I know that's a longer trip for Washington as it is Auburn, but Washington's a good football team. They play at Georgia. They play at Alabama. This realistically could be a really good team, a top 10 type team that has 2 losses or 3 losses, depending on how things shake out. So, as the head ball coach used to always say, as old Coach Pepper Rogers would say, you're only as good as your players and your schedule. And the schedule's not real good for the Tigers this year. But I do think defensively they're going to be lights out. They will be in every single game because of that defense. They will smother people up front. They're not. I don't think they're quite as good. Well, you know what? They lost Carlton Davis to corner, but I was talking to Coach Steele last night that he likes his defensive backs. He thinks they're going to be just fine back there. Offensively, we'll see. They sort of tinkered around last year with Jarrett Stidham. I don't think they ever really fully got as much out of him as I thought they would because that kid can throw it. He's really good. We'll see second time through if they sort of figure out how to better utilize him. He should be more comfortable. I think he'll be given more freedom. If so, then he's as talented at that position as anybody in the league. He really can throw it. So I agree. Auburn should be really good. And you started talking about if you just line them up right now and didn't look at schedule, who are the best teams in the league? The 3 best teams in the league are Alabama, Auburn, and Georgia. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you who's not far behind. I was with a scout, a buddy of mine, when I was out at Texas A&M last week, an NFL scout. We stood there and watched practice together. And he had been at Alabama and Mississippi State the week before, on back-to-back days. And he told me that Mississippi State up front, defensively, in their front 7, he said, I did not see a huge difference between them, at least the front line guys, and Alabama. Mm-hmm. And we know that Nick Fitzgerald comes back at quarterback. So Mississippi State's another team in the West. They're not going to win the West, but I guarantee you they'll be a factor in who wins it. They're going to be a load every time they play.
You mentioned Auburn's schedule. Another game that they have to go to is Mississippi State. Where is Nick Fitzgerald and where he stands, and how has he kind of taken the new offense under Joe Moorhead?
Yeah, well, that's a great fit because Moorhead is really, really good, innovative, and when I had spent some time up there last preseason at Penn State, McSorley talking about him and just the way he relates to his quarterbacks, gets everybody the right spot. It's a transition, obviously. A new offense, new coaching staff with new players, so sometimes it takes a while. But no, I think that's a perfect fit, Fitzgerald. Because Fitzgerald, he can beat you throwing it, he can beat you running it. He's a tough kid. So that's a team, again, that I would not sleep on Mississippi State. And I like Moorhead a lot. He's when he got that job, a lot of people were like, well, this is sort of an odd fit. A guy from that part of the country coming to Starkville, Mississippi. I think he will be just fine there. And I think Mississippi State. Now, here's the thing. After this year, they're going to lose a lot of those guys. Because a lot of them are either going to be seniors or may go out. So we'll see how they replenish and how they recruit. But I think this year's got a chance to be a pretty good season in Starkville.
Slight edge. Alabama lost a lot of guys. Mississippi State had a few players that could have went to the draft last year on the defensive line, but decided to come back. And so that is definitely one of the reasons why they are so stout up front. Same way with Clemson. Clemson had a couple guys that could have went to the draft, but decided to come back. And now you put them up there with the top teams in the country there on the defensive front. So that's where the game is won. CeeLo, you know that, man. You've covered this league a long time. Starts up front.
Always. And I don't think that ever, as much as the game's changed and evolved, and it has changed a bunch over the last 10 to 15 years, especially in college, that's the part that'll never change. I mean, if you're good up front defensively and you're deep and you can affect a quarterback, then you're always going to have a chance to win at a high level. I mean, and I always say, I've said on your show more than people care to hear, but When's the last time a team's won a national championship with an average to below average defensive line?
You won't see it. No, you won't see it. Starts up front. CeeLo, ESPN, at CeeLo, ESPN on Twitter. Chris, be careful in your travels, and we will talk to you next week, my friend. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll be on the campus on Alma Mater on Friday doing stuff with Jeremy and the team for ESPN. So I look forward to being back in Knoxville.
That's right. That's right. Chris Lowe, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
Again, Chris Lowe's time here on the Swain event is brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, where all of their treatments are under ultrasound guidance. Very, very, very important, and they do it right. PRP is something that is making its way to many cities across the country. It was only used with professional athletes. You know, guys like Tiger Woods would go overseas to get those procedures done. Kobe Bryant would get those procedures done years ago. And it was only available to the pro athletes. And now it's available to everyone because of the advancements in medicine and how popular it is and how it works. And so the leader in non-surgical orthopedics is Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. So make sure you go to their website, trsportsmedicine.com. We got For What coming up next.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit. Must finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
Today looks to be partly sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Patchy fog Thursday morning, then clearing up with sunny skies and a high of 82 and a low of 60. More sunshine on Friday with a high in the mid-80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, That's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
Butch Jones replacing Philip Fulmer on the Jumbotron.
For what?
People getting drunk and stumbling into the wrong house.
For what?
Butch saying a chart told him to kick an extra point instead of going for 2.
For what?
People who break the law while breaking the law.
For what?
All right, gentlemen, it's time for what? So what do we have today, Charlie and Ben?
Going straight to Florida. Shocker. For what? Capital of the world. This is your headline from TC Palm. Man swings anchor in grilled chicken dispute. According to witnesses that were in, I believe, a park in Fort Pierce, Florida, John Matthews was accused of swinging around a boat anchor and cursing at high volume and being aggressive with others around him after he was served chicken that was not to his liking. It said people on the beach around 6:45 p.m. flagged down sheriff's deputy, and he was told that the sheriff's deputy was told the man was being aggressive toward another man and trying to fight. And in the middle of the fight, it says witnesses stated that Matthews was swinging around his metal boat anchor in the air and cursing loudly toward the other individuals on the beach because, dang it, I want my grilled chicken a certain way and you didn't give it to me that way. I also have a for what. Not only are the people, the common folk in Florida just walking for what's, the journalists that write these stories. This is real. I'm reading this verbatim from this article from the TC Palm, which is a newspaper in Fort Pierce, Florida. It says this: an anchor is an instrument or device dropped via chain, rope, or cable to the floor of a body of water, such as an ocean, to stop the movement of a boat or floating object. Anchors are also popular for tattoos, such as the classic anchor immortalized on cartoon character Popeye the Sailor Man's forearms.
That's valuable information.
What? Maybe it is. It strikes me as more of like a. You remember when you would write essays in school, and you had to like meet a 500-word count. You were like, oh man, I only got like 350 words.
Yes.
I guess I'll just add in. Maybe this was. He had to include some stuff. There was also this line where he says Matthews reportedly smelled of booze. He said he'd had 2 shots of Malibu rum, a rum that's available in original coconut flavor and varieties including pineapple, mango, passion fruit, and banana.
My goodness.
And that the person who wrote this, Will Greenlee. Shout out to Will Greenlee for his. He adds an extra bit of information that we need that really rounds out the story. So for what? To this guy for swinging an anchor around because he got bad chicken. For what? For this writer because I know what an anchor is. Come on.
Some people could view this as an attaboy, but being the chicken that I am, the very reserved person that I am, I'm giving this a for what? To Luke Aikens, the first person to jump out of an airplane without a parachute from 25,000 feet above. And it turned out to be successful, thank God, because I could not imagine being there and watching a man fall 25,000 feet out of the air without a parachute and not hitting the net. I just don't understand the folks who seek this kind of adrenaline rush. I don't even get on the little teacup ride at Disney World. I don't even like that type of adrenaline. I don't do roller coasters. I don't do, like, I was a kid.
Wow.
Like, I enjoy riding four-wheelers, but I was the one in my friend group who, like, did the speed limit, so to speak. Like, I was not flying on the four-wheeler. I was not flying on the dirt bike. I'm not jumping off of cliffs. I'm not rock climbing. I'm a very cautious person in that sense.
Interesting.
So, I'm giving a for what to people who like to do things and seek this form of adrenaline because I could never do it. I commend you, but also I'm also glad that I don't seek this kind of adrenaline.
I definitely draw the line at jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Screw that. I'm definitely not. I'm trying to live.
Like the videos you see on social media of people walking on top of the buildings in like New York City and that those videos freak me out.
It's always Russians. They're like climbing on cranes.
Or teenagers.
Just dumb teenagers.
Dancing on the top of a 50,000 foot tower.
That ain't me. Although I gotta give you a little bit for what? Ride a roller coaster, Ben.
No, awesome. I don't do roller coaster. I get so anxious. I work myself up to where I want to throw up.
I love a good roller coaster.
When we go to Dollywood, I people watch it and eat funnel cakes. That's all, and hold everybody's stuff.
Well, I mean that's an attraction in itself. So
this is how bad I am with roller coasters, and then I'll move on. Let Swain get to his for what. We went to Universal Studios a couple of years ago with
great theme park.
It is, especially for people watching. We went with two of our very close friends who actually got married over the weekend, and I made my fiance get on a roller coaster with a different man. I'm not getting on a roller coaster. I told him, look, for the next 2.5 minutes, please protect her. You can hold her hand. Do not do anything more than holding hands. I will have to put my hands on you if you do that. But you have permission to make sure that she is safe during this ride because I will be on the ground protecting myself. I don't do roller coasters. I hate roller coasters to the point where I will let my fiance ride a roller coaster with another man, and I don't care who judges me for that.
Wow. What an admission.
I'm not judging you, man. I'm not judging you at all. So basically, you were like Dwayne Wade when Jimmy Butler slid into the comment section of Gabrielle Union's Instagram post, Dwayne Wade's wife, and Dwayne Wade had to check Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
That's you. Don't do anything.
But make sure she gets off this ride okay.
I got you. 865-200-5503, Beat Drop Waterproofing Hotline. Let's take a look at the Facebook Live comments there, and then also our messages on the text box. Troy from Memphis says, with Trey Smith working at left tackle, does Drew Richmond drop to second on the depth chart, or does he slide inside? I just don't see how Drew Richmond is going to fall to second. I haven't heard of that. I haven't really seen it. Maybe Drew Richmond plays the other side. Maybe he plays inside. Drew Richmond has played guard. I just don't see where you move him to second team. So I see either Trey Smith or Drew playing tackle, and then the other one playing inside. That's what I see. Ken says, can we please stop talking about Combo? How many times are we going to get punked by that kid? Far too many other better players to discuss.
You have to.
Sorry, Ken.
He's got a vital role in the defense this year. Have to talk about him.
Sorry, man. He's starting. He's one of the 11 that's starting. So
I believe it's a principle from the Bible. Forgive 70 times 7. You know, you got to give him as many chances as it takes, and it may never happen. But hey, I will at least give him some play because just physically, if he could harness his ability, the dude's a monster, and maybe he never will.
He looks like a monster.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
I mean,
physically,
that's really all you can say.
And that's why I say if he could harness what it appears his body could do, he could be great.
And let's be honest, everybody has, I guess a nice body. They work out all day, every day. That's what they do. They work out all day, and they have the best nutrition, more than 99% of the world. While you're in school, everything is laid out for you. So everyone looks good because you work out all the time. You get the best supplements. So it's for Combo, it's all mental. No, it's all mental. You're not being recruited anymore. And, Combo has figured that out quick, fast, and in a hurry with this staff. But sorry, Ken, I mean, he's one of the starters. He is the number 1 JUCO player in the country when he's coming out. We saw the drama that happened when he was here in the Coach Jones. And he spoke to the media. Sorry, man. That's all I can tell you. Daniel W. says, compared to this time last year, how do you feel about the season? Not the coaching staff with the comfort, but how good of a season compared to last season? Well, entering the Georgia Tech game, I wasn't really confident that we would win. I think I might have picked Tennessee just because, but I thought that what was going on inside the program and then what Georgia Tech presented could be some problems for Tennessee, and wasn't surprised at all that Georgia Tech was up the amount of points they were in that football game. But I feel a whole lot better about the first game of the season than I did last year. So hope that answers your questions there. Chip Payne says there are rumblings that Kirkland is having second thoughts about playing at UT. Is that true? I have no clue about how Kirkland feels in that area. I know how frustrating it is to not be yourself physically, and I don't know what school would make that better. If you're not healthy, you're not healthy. So it's not like you go to a different school and they're gonna give you a new knee. So I just hope that mentally that he stays into it, that he's okay. And I don't know if he's not. I just really don't. Hour 3 coming up. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the college, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Real on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Having surgery can be scary, and having to navigate around a massive medical center can be even more overwhelming. Fortunately, the premier office-based surgery center in Knoxville offers a convenient and affordable option for surgical care. Our skilled surgeons and friendly staff treat you just like family. Everything at our state-certified accredited center is designed with your comfort in mind, and Premier offers flat-fee package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia procedures. Visit premiersurgerypackages.com for more details. The Premier Office-Based Surgery Center. Surgical expertise you can trust.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
All right, let's take a look at Facebook Live comments, also the text box to start hour 3 Swain events fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Today's lunch special is the kitchen sink burrito, toasted flour tortilla, loaded with brisket, pork, chicken, queso, tater tots, red, white, and blue slaw, fried jalapenos, and a spicy barbecue wing sauce served with chips and salsa. That is the kitchen sink burrito at Dead End Barbecue. Ben, what do we have on our Facebook Live feed there on Swain Event Plus? Swain Event TV.
Todd says that hit Will, referring to Will Dreer, one good time, and he folds. Don't know that I necessarily agree with that. Will Dreer's pretty.
Might want to get more than one hit on him.
Yeah, a couple more hits.
I heard he takes vitamins, so.
I heard he takes steroids, too. That's neither here nor there.
He doesn't take steroids. He takes vitamins.
Mm-hmm. Larry wants to know why West Virginia fans are so confident. Do they not realize they were only 7-5 last season, and we were 2 plays from 6-6 in a season full of injuries and a lame duck coach?
Fair point.
Steven says, responds to Larry and says, win-loss records should not count from last year because it has no effect on the current year. And Steven says he's hopeful but not optimistic on the season. Sees 7-5. Larry sees 7-5 as well, but up to 9-3 at best. They see that they think because of that will be because of a great staff. Will be the difference in this season and last season, and that's kind of been my hope for the season. Not necessarily optimistic in terms of the talent on the roster, but I'm optimistic in the terms of I think the coaching staff is a humongous upgrade. I don't think you could have had a bigger upgrade from last year's coaching staff to this year's coaching staff. I think that's going to be the difference in 6-7 wins and going 5-7. I think that's the reason Tennessee fans should be optimistic for this upcoming season.
Z. Brayton yesterday, we were off the air, but he sent in a question about or a comment asking us to talking about the running backs, but want us to touch on them. And Tim Jordan is out there in front. Ty Chandler's right there alongside with Mondre London. I think that's going to be your three-man rotation there. And then we'll see if someone can, if someone gets hurt, then you'll add some other guys into the mix. But I think those are your 3 main running backs. Tim Jordan, a guy that can do it all. Ty Chandler, someone that can score a touchdown at any point of the field. Probably our best ball handler in space. When you look at Callaway, his ability to break tackles, he showed that against Georgia Tech. Ty Chandler is probably your second best guy. One-on-one, with the ball in his hands, he's probably your best guy that can make guys miss and pick up some big yards.
How have the running backs been this fall camp in terms of holding on to the football?
Haven't heard much about fumbles.
I haven't either. That's why I asked, because that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I use the example kind of off the air. It's kind of like the job of a holder. Well, we haven't witnessed any botched snaps last year. Well, that means the holders and the snapper, they're doing their job. And so that's how I look at the running back situation this fall camp. We haven't heard about fumbles. That means that they are protecting the football for the most part. The times I've been in practice, there's always been an emphasis at the first of practice on ball security. I mean, they get in those drills, and we usually see those drills, during the bye week, and you're going back to fundamentals during that week up to Thursday, and let the kids go home and have that Saturday off or whatever because it's the bye week. But one thing I've noticed about practices under Jordan Pruitt is that they do this every day. Every day is working on the fundamentals of ball security, whether it's on offense and on defense. Defensively, you're teaching the guys to rip and strip. And on offense, you're teaching guys to make sure they hold the ball high and tight and two hands in traffic. And so every day they work on the fundamentals of ball security.
Yeah, Pruitt, every time he ever talks about the quarterback specifically, I notice it. He brings up ball security. That's going to be a defining factor of who ends up being the quarterback, and he brings it up a lot. I will say of the running backs, one of the most frustrating things from camp so far, and there hasn't been much, but the running backs when we covered practice with Butch were right in front of us, right there, almost on the sideline where we would stand. And now with Pruitt, they're on the opposite side of the field in a corner really far away where we can barely see what they're doing. And that's been kind of frustrating because I don't want to say they're a mystery unit, but they're a unit that I want to know about and haven't been able to get up close and personal with them.
You haven't really heard a lot of talk about them either. You've heard that they're having Mondre London, Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, that they've had a good camp, but you've almost heard the running back mentioned more when Princeton Fant has moved to running back. So to your point, while I don't think it matters where the running backs are on the field, that's more of a media thing that really
sure,
that's practical to the media. But from a football standpoint, you haven't really heard a lot from the running backs, and it is somewhat of a mystery group because of that.
Mm-hmm. You got to put yourself in Jordan Pruitt's shoes. I mean, this is your first time being a head coach. Your first game is against a preseason top 15 team, and you have a quarterback battle. I'm using air quotes there. Wouldn't you shield your offense and your team away from the media as much as possible? Absolutely, I would too. I want that element of surprise, and so people can be bothered a little bit that you're not getting as much information as you would like, but don't you want to win? What's more important, knowing every single thing that's going on in practice, or Tennessee, when they play against West Virginia, having more points at the end of the game? So you have to just put yourself in Pruitt's shoes there, and that's why he has the offense so far away from the media, because he don't want the media reporting on stuff that West Virginia can read about, to be honest. And I don't blame him one bit. I would do the same thing. 865-255-03.
Let me ask you this. Chris Lowe brought up a beautiful thing in terms of when he talked about Chance Hall, Trey Smith, Brandon Kennedy, kind of stating that Tennessee's offense will go as the offensive line goes, and that it's hard to make it through a season with 5 guys. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, what year was it that Aaron Sears anchored that offensive line that only gave up 3 sacks the entire year?
No, Aaron was gone.
Was that Aaron? Or
yeah,
what?
Yeah, Aaron was gone. It was 07, and that was Anthony Parker, Ramon Foster, Chris Scott. It was those boys.
My question: did they make it? Was that the same 5 all 12 games?
I'm not really sure. I do know that the quarterback that year, Ainge, had a lot to do with how successful the offensive line was and not taking sacks. That is, a senior quarterback that knew, okay, the ball's not there, let me throw the ball away, and avoid taking a sack, avoid negative play. Incomplete pass is better than a sack, and so that's why the offensive line was so productive. I don't know if all 5 guys who started the season, did they finish the season without missing any time? I have no clue. I can't really go back that far and tell you.
I mean, I remember last year we had Cole Kublik on and even just listening to some of the interviews he would do on Feinbaum. I mean, obviously he's the best in terms of covering the SEC's offensive line and defensive linemen, and the reason he was down on Tennessee's offensive line last year is because of they didn't have a set five. Under Butch Jones, you saw a lot of mismatching. Not a lot of guys were able to be one unit and kind of be cohesive and gel together. So I think that should be a point of emphasis going forward, is settling in on your starting five along the offensive line and letting them gel together, and then also kind of doing a little praying and hoping that you can stick to that 5 offensive lineman set.
Yeah, staying healthy is that's luck. If you can get lucky and go throughout the season unscathed, that's some luck there. A reason why you saw so much change at the offensive line and not a lot of continuity and didn't see like the players were on the same page is because you forced Drew Richmond to play tackle because you promised him that, instead of saying, I'm going to play the best guys. I'm going to find the best 6 or the best 7, best 8 offensive linemen, and then when I find the best 8, then I'm going to put guys in position that's great for the line. And if you do that, you don't let politics get in the way of playing the best guy. Because once you let politics get in the way of playing the best guy, then you have chemistry issues. And if you have chemistry issues, you can lose games. And that's what we've seen over the last couple of years. Going back to the ball security thing, under Coach Jones, they would really work on the fundamentals of ball security a lot in the open week. You look at the 2016 season, the start of it, and the ball was hitting the ground. Tennessee was becoming lucky. Was lucky because they fell on the ball. Josh Dobbs dives for the end zone, fumbles. Jalen Hurd recovers in the end zone against Appy State. That's you being fortunate, the ball bouncing your way. And we were playing with fire. Tennessee was undefeated, 5-0, but you could not continue to play that way and expect to win. And in the Texas A&M game, it all came out. You played a good team. The ball didn't bounce your way.
I believe it was 6 turnovers in that game.
And you were loose with the football.
Yeah.
You fumbled. Alvin Kamara had a long run. He fumbled. I think John Kelly fumble that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Had a lot of fumbles that game. That's what happens when you don't emphasize ball security on a daily basis. It can come up and it can bite you. And that's a great example of what happened in that Texas A&M game in 2016. Mayo Vols 22 on the text box asked, who do you think will start a defensive line? I'll tell you right now, that's going to be Kyle Phillips, that's going to be Shaw Tuttle, and it's going to be Alexis Johnson right there with 3-4. And so those are your guys. And then obviously you're going to rotate. You want to keep guys fresh and healthy, and so you'll get a nice little rotation that will involve. I guess Greg Emerson. I guess Emmett Gooden. A bunch of dudes.
You're gonna in the 2 and 3 deep. You're going to be relying on a bunch of newcomers, especially freshmen. I'm interested to see in terms of starters how long Shai and Alexis stick at nose tackle and at the 5 technique, because there have been some instances in practice where Shai Tuttle has slid out to the 5 technique, and Alexis Johnson has slid back into nose. So I'm interested to see how much those guys have flip-flopped. And you've even seen Emmett Gooden slide into the starting nose tackle, and then Shai Tuttle slide out to the 5 technique. So Kyle Phillips is really the only one that's set in stone at one of the end spots. Now, granted, Shai Tuttle is going to start. It's just a matter of if he starts at nose or if it's at the 5 technique. But Kyle Phillips is really the only definite starter in one position along the defensive line.
I put it in my preview of the offensive line, but I think this is true of the defensive line too. I think just in those trenches, things are just going to be an experiment this year. And the way I put it, I said, like any good experiment, you could stumble upon an incredible discovery, or the chemicals that you put together might blow up in your face. And so ideally, they got good coaches overseeing both of those spots. And so
experiment, how so?
Well, just how they're, specifically on the offensive line. Defensive line, you got a little more, a little more defined in terms of the roles that the guys could play. But the offensive line,
I think the defensive line is more of an experiment, if we're going to use that word, than the offensive line, because I think you do have more set in stone pieces on the offensive line than you do the defensive line.
But are they set in stone in terms of exactly where they're going to play? Like we're talking about a Drew Richmond who has played all of his college snaps at left tackle, but is that really the best position for him? And if it's not, where does he go? Yeah. I guess that's the way that I look at it. Where on defense, I mean, a Shy Tuttle is not going to be, that quick guy on the end for you. But that's just how I've seen it. But
I don't think Swain thinks it's going to be an experiment.
I just don't understand the experiment comment. I guess because you're moving from a 4-3 to a 3-4. That is a defense that Pruitt has used. I guess you can say is something that we have not done here, and so.
Well, finding the right guys to put in the right places.
Yeah, I think Charlie
is all
meant,
I mean.
But they've been practicing for a couple weeks now. I mean,
experimenting and moving different players around along the defensive line. Like Shy Tuttle, he practices at nose, but then he'll also slide out to the 5 technique.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or Emmett Gooden, he'll practice at the 5 technique and slide back in the nose. So you're experimenting and trying to find your best combination up front.
I just don't like the term. I look at the wide receivers, or I look at a corner, and a corner can play nickel, or a receiver can play slot. He can play split end. That's not experiment. That's just playing different position. I don't think it's much of an experiment. I think if you want to use that word, you could say, okay, well, they played a 4-3 and they're playing a 3-4. But even that, like they've worked on it for 5 or 6 months. I mean, since Pruitt has been there, they've worked on playing some 3-4, playing some 4-3, playing multiple sets, so they prepare for it. I think of experiment. I think of not being prepared, just doing it and seeing what happens, and seeing if it sticks, throwing stuff against the wall. I just don't see that with this defensive front. Shy Tuttle's a guy that he's big enough to play inside and be a 2-gap tackle. He's shown that he's quick enough and fast enough to play in a 4-3 and really get to the quarterback as a pass rusher. So versatility is something that Jeremy Pruitt and his defense, they want to see from their guys, because you can put 3 linebackers in at once. You can put Batuli, Sapp, and Kirkland in at once if you need to, or you can put in a bunch of DBs if you need to, if the guys can do it, if they're versatile enough. So I guess that's why I just quite didn't understand the phrase experiment.
And also the original comment when I made it in the preview was not for the defensive line; it was for the offensive line, because at least at this point, I think you have a guy like a Chance Hall who you're not really gonna get to see his full potential till he gets all the way back from this injury, and then you're just kind of gonna have to test him out, see where he fits best in it, and it really will be figuring out how it works.
Well, he's a tackle, but that's his position. He's not a guy that plays another position. Chance Hall's a tackle.
Yeah, I know. And that's in the preview, I slotted him at right tackle, and that's where he's played in the past, and I would say that's probably where he'll get played now. But with the defensive line, it's much more. You have more defined roles with these guys, and like you said, they've had time to flesh it out.
865-250-503. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center. LowTCenter.com. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a smoothie king for life. The chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Gentlemen, when it comes to health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I recommend going to Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. Listen to me here. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, Hour 3 continues here on 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Today's lunch special is the kitchen sink burrito at Dead End Barbecue. Let's go to the B-Dry waterproofing hotline, bdry.com. Let's get to Steven. Steven, good morning.
Jason, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, long time no talk to you. I'm glad to finally get on the show and chat with you guys again.
Absolutely, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man, thank you. I have two questions. First, I want to ask, you being a receiver and offensive-minded guy, and this goes for all three of you. Last time we saw Tennessee run a 3-4 defense, obviously it wasn't successful, to say the least. South's theory helped us. He converted us to the 3-4. We had talent on that defense with A.J. Johnson and Kurt Magid, but the defense just was atrocious that year. Our offense was amazing with Bray and Patterson and Hunter and those guys, but we just couldn't stop anything. And I admit I still have kind of a bad taste in my mouth from that experience. So, as an offensive-minded guy, my first question was just which defense do you prefer to line up against if you're on offense, and how do you feel about the 3-4 in general?
The difference between Sal Sinceri and Jeremy Pruitt, Sal was a position coach before he got the opportunity to be a defense coordinator here at Tennessee. He came from Alabama, where he was just coaching a position, and then he tried to implement a system that he worked inside of at Alabama, whereas Jeremy Pruitt, he's been a defense coordinator at three major programs, and had his own system. And so I think it's a situation where Pruitt's going to be a little bit more prepared. He's going to be better in explaining the concepts to his players. I look at the 2008 offensive season and how confusing Dave Clawson's offense was, and guys just didn't really play fast because they were thinking too much. And that's how I saw the 2012 defense, because of how confusing things may have been. And then they didn't have the corners to play 3-4 either. They didn't have the personnel. Prince Wagner's not a man-to-man corner. He's his own corner. Tennessee right now has some man corners. I mean, Lante Taylor is a guy that can run with you every step of the way. He's a better athlete than Prince Wagner. Prince Wagner had great height, but again, not a man-to-man corner. So I think the personnel's better for Pruitt to play a 3-4. We had Pruitt on the show, and I asked him about the 3-4. Someone asked him about the 3-4, and he kind of made it seem like it was kind of overblown, because it's not a situation where he's going to line up in a 3-4 all day long, and that's what he's going to play. He's going to change it up. He's going to mix it up. There's going to be some games. There's going to be some formations to where he's going to be in a 4-3. There's going to be some shifts. There's going to be some things that appear to look like they're not in a 4-3. So I think when we hear 4-3, we think about South Missouri 2002, and we get shook, we get a little rattled. But I don't think that's the case at all, to be honest. As an offensive player, I like playing defenses that respect the run, because that means I'm going to get man-to-man coverage on the outside. I hate when we can't run the football and the opponent drops 7-8 guys in coverage. I hate that. I love when I see man-to-man coverage. I love when we see cover 2, because we can hit a lot of seams and a lot of holes in the defense. So I hope that answers your question, my friend Stephen.
Yeah, well, that does. I had one more question for you. It was kind of touching on what you guys were talking about a minute ago with the running back. I think of the 3 guys that we have that are likely to play, the guy that we've seen the most of is Chandler, in little spurts here and there last year. And he looked good, but we also played in a scheme that was really catered more towards a read option kind of back, which is what Ty Chandler looks like. He's smaller, he's shiftier, he's really quick, and like you said earlier, I feel like he's probably one of the best guys as far as bringing him down in the open field and chasing him down. It's going to be hard because he can make you miss, but, I mean, you see the kind of offense that it looks like we're going to run, and it looks like, we're going to be running a little bit more traditional, maybe a little bit more lead blocker, lead fullback kind of offense. And, I guess it's kind of a 2-part question, because how do you feel about a guy who's smaller like Ty Chandler running downhill and trying to play smash mouth football like that? And maybe the second part of that question is, if you don't see Chandler in that role, if you see him more as the receiver out of the backfield, how much time do you think will be split as far as the carries? I mean, do you see it as a 50-50 split on the touches or the snaps, or how do you see the running backs splitting their time?
Stephen, good stuff right there from you, man. Thanks for the phone call. I don't read much into who's getting the starting nod, because I was on a football team in 2004 that had 2,000-yard rushers, and I don't remember who really started, honestly, in most of those games. I'm pretty sure Cedric Houston started the first game of the season, but I don't know who started each and every game, because it just don't matter. It's about who gets those touches. And I don't know if I see a 50-50 split, because that would mean that Mondre London will get he wouldn't get any burn at all. But I do see a 3-headed monster. I do see a 3-man rotation between London, Tim Jordan, and Ty Chandler. T. Gamble on the text box says, is there a reason Swain is dropping Jordan's name in front of Chandler and London? Or am I looking too far in this? Yeah, because Tim Jordan is first team. That's why. That's why I'm saying it. Tim Jordan has been getting the most first team reps. And what makes a running back have the advantage? What makes a coaching staff go with one running back or the other? Think about all the responsibilities of a running back.
He doesn't fumble.
In the running game is knowing where to go, alignment and assignment, protection of the football. You just mentioned that. Your ability to make guys miss, your ability to impose your will on the defense by how you run, and physically how you are built. You know, you look at Alabama over the last couple of years, and we have some guys from Alabama. They don't like itty-bitty running backs. You know, Ty Chandler was a U.S. Army All-American, but Alabama did not recruit Ty Chandler.
Not their style.
No, that's not their style. And so Tim fits more of what they want in a back, a bigger back that can fall forward every time he catches the football or runs the football.
Get north and south.
Now, when you say that, strictly on their measurables listed on Tennessee's official roster, they are the exact same size.
Yeah.
5'11", 195. What makes you say
style of play?
Yes. What makes you say Tim Jordan is bigger?
It's your style. It's your style of play, and so your style of play can make you bigger, can make you play bigger. It's just like being an offensive lineman and benching the house and squatting the house, but on the football field, you can't push cotton. It's like in 2003, Sean Young was 6'3". No, he was 6'6". He was 300 pounds. He was an absolute beast. He was a monster if you look at him. But that size, that strength did not translate. That's why Aaron Sears got the start over Sean Young as a freshman, because you can look like Tarzan and play like Jane. And so, yes, they are the same size, but Tim Jordan's running style they may like. Also, and this is what I was getting ready to get to before you asked that question, a running back that is not reliable in pass protection is a running back that you can't trust to play all the time in passing situations. And so Tim Jordan is just more all around, according to the coaching staff, than any other back. That's the best reason I can give you. That doesn't mean that Ty Chandler won't play, that he won't get his touches. That just means that they like Tim Jordan a little bit better.
A lot of people are kind of
right now
surprised that Tim Jordan is the first string back.
Are we surprised that Betty Buchanan is a starting corner?
No, because he's about the only one left from last year.
No, but he's a guy that was on this roster last year that was overlooked by the staff.
Correct. Mm-hmm. My question about Tim Jordan is to give the people some background info. When you watch Tim Jordan run the football, who does he remind you of? I know Fred White isn't big on the comparisons, but to give the listener kind of a correlation that they can make and kind of what they can expect from Tim Jordan outside of one game last season being the Kentucky game where he stepped up when John Kelly was suspended. Does Tim Jordan remind you of a John Kelly?
No, not really. I mean, Ty Chandler reminds me of John Kelly, to be honest. I don't know if I have a comparison for Tim Jordan today, to be honest. I haven't really thought about it.
I mean, that's fine because we have not seen a lot from him. Like I said, we've seen to everybody who can watch the games, we've seen one game from him and a few touches here and there.
Well, you look at last year's rushing attempts, and Tim Jordan was the fourth leading rusher as far as attempts running backs. John Kelly had 189 attempts. Ty Chandler second with 71. Carlin Fields and Meade plays corner, and so Tim Jordan only had 11. So it's pretty natural that Ty Chandler and Tim Jordan are right there neck and neck. And offensively, they like Tim Jordan just a little bit better for him to be starting. I don't think it's a huge deal because you need multiple running backs with this style of play that we're going to play and this conference that you play in. So,
do you see Madre London as a short yardage back? Because he's 2 inches and 20 pounds heavier than Tim Jordan and Ty Chandler.
Yeah,
and he played that role some at Michigan State.
Absolutely,
like a goal line guy.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see him coming in and being a Jabari Davis. You know, being a short yardage guy that you know that you feel confident in is gonna even when you get stuffed at the line of scrimmage, that at least Mondre London can fall forward and score a touchdown.
Yeah, but to your point about Ty Chandler kind of reminding you more of John Kelly than Tim Jordan, Ty Chandler is a violent runner too.
He is.
And if it's 31, 32, or fourth and some couple inches, you can hand the ball off to him and
absolutely.
If the offensive line gets a good push, good chance that you pick up a first down.
You can only start one guy. Only one guy can be a starter unless you're going to go in a double running back set. They like Tim Jordan just a little bit more, it seems like, but that's okay. If Tim Jordan gets 12 carries and starts, and Ty Chandler gets 14 carries and doesn't start,
it doesn't matter.
Who wins?
And
who wins that?
And to that point, if Tennessee's up by a field goal, up by a touchdown on West Virginia with 5-7 minutes to go in the game, and you're trying to run out the clock, who's getting the carries then?
Yeah.
That's what is going to matter. Not who starts the game against West Virginia. Who's getting the carry when you need to protect when you need to protect the football and run the clock out. Yep.
No one makes guys miss on this football team like Ty Chandler.
No, I mean he's going on the kickoff return.
He's gonna make his money per se. He's going to do his thing. He's gonna do his. He's gonna get his. Don't worry. He just may not start first game.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. 865-200-5503. Hour 3 here in the Swain event is powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Multiple locations in Tennessee. One here in Knoxville. There, Farragut, Larry and the team, they do a great job. Low T Center, reinventing men's health. Men, know your numbers. Go get your T checked at the Low T Center, lowtcenter.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with the representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries. You break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Let's get to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, and I think we have, Rod? Is Rod joining us there? Rod, good morning.
What's going on, Jason? Y'all doing all right?
Hey, doing great, man. Hope you are too.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm just cracking up, listening to, the show today. It's been great. And I truly respect, everything that y'all do, and I think it's funny because y'all realize, unlike a lot of fans, that, it doesn't matter that, we're blessed to have a running back by committee, but this coaching staff, we know, is going to run behind Coach Trey Smith and not just watch him pancake people and don't have nobody running behind them.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy. You saw Trey Smith multiple times, pancake people if you watch it on TV, but you didn't see it in the live shot because the ball went somewhere else. And it took an instant replay to go back and show Trey Smith putting in work. So hopefully we do see the great blocks, in real time because there's going to be a running back running behind him.
Is that not Pop Warner football, Jason?
Yeah, it is, to be honest.
That's Pop Warner football. That's coaching, guys.
Yeah, I mean.
This is every play he was pancaking people.
Yeah.
And we running on the other side of the line.
Yeah.
Talk about 10 freaking yards a down, and we're running on the other side, getting a half a yard.
Yeah, I seen some of that. I did.
Yep.
2 + 2 has been 4 a long time, guys.
It ain't going to change anytime soon either.
I don't. But thank God our coaching has. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thanks, Rod. Going back to the text box, Levere88, did I say that right? What about Darrell Taylor? Is he going to play, start? Haven't heard much since last year. Yeah, he's one of the outside linebackers there in that 3-4. He's opposite Jonathan Combo. You got Jordan Allen that's in the mix too, JUCO player from California. But yeah, Darrell Taylor is one of your guys there on the edge, coming off the edge. So there's a lot of guys that we heard about last year that will be in important roles this year. There's also players that found themselves buried on a depth chart. Guys like Schamberger didn't play until the Alabama game and was holding his own, and you were like, whoa, wait, why hasn't he played sooner? Well, he's going to be important this season. He's going to be a star. He's going to be a nickel guy. He's going to be asked to move around. He was working in safety a little bit a couple days ago, so he's versatile, and that is a great quality to have, someone as versatile, a guy like Jonathan Hefney, Jason Allen, they can play corner, they can play safety for you.
Here's a little question for you. I think, because this happens almost every season, I think this season you're going to have the emergence of a couple guys who we haven't been talking about, at least not much. And you're going to find out that they're a really solid player and they're going to step up. Who do you see that being, if it happens this year?
I feel like during fall camp, you really talk about a lot of people. Talk about everybody.
Yeah, we've talked about most people, but maybe someone that a lot of people aren't thinking about that could be a dude that steps up.
And you can look at Kayron Calvert is a dude that a lot of people are not talking about. I mean,
he got first team reps in the spring game.
He's
out of necessity, but still.
Yeah, I mean, he's impressing the offensive coaches, Will Friend. So before the season is done, I can see him in the mix and making some plays.
Yeah.
I can look at Austin Pope. Austin Pope is versatile.
He's going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, I mean,
H-back and tight end.
The dude. And I'm a big Austin Pope fan. I've known Austin Pope ever since he was a little wide receiver doing combines across the country as an 8th grader. I remember working with him, and to see him go from Sevier County, he lost his father, which is always hard to do. Growing up at that age without a father is difficult. But he goes from Sevier County, and then he goes to CAK. He learns just the offense. He learns how to be a better receiver from Rusty Bradley. Rusty Bradley leaves. Austin Pope gets opportunity to come to Tennessee. He has some other offers, Virginia Tech, places like that. And so he comes here, and he has put on weight. He's behind some other folks. New staff comes in, and he hurts his hand really bad in the spring. I remember watching Austin Pope with a club out there. One hand, club, not making any excuses, going out there competing. And I think that's paid off for him because him and Dominic Wood-Anderson, I think, are the two leading tight ends because they can block, number one, but they can catch the ball out the backfield behind the line of scrimmage if you need to, or they can line up with their hand in the dirt, run routes, or they can line up in 2-point stands and run routes. So those tight ends who are versatile seem to have the best chance to win. But I like Austin Pope there. Jordan Murphy hasn't been talked about a lot except for this fall camp, but I think he's going to be poised to have a really good year. I'm just looking at the depth chart on offense and defense here in my notes. Let's see here. Trayvon Flowers, we just now start talking about him, freshman safety. I think he's going to be in the mix before it's all said and done. Is Will Ignott going to step up? And he's been in the program a couple of years, understands what it takes at this level to prepare each and every day and physically have your body ready for practice and games. He should be in there and be in the mix. Should be.
Going to be a little bit of a logjam there, inside linebacker, but
not if Kirkland can't get healthy.
That's true.
Yep,
that's very true.
And Peterson's not here.
And with Peterson not being here and Kirkland not being able to get healthy, Ignott needs to step up.
Yeah,
I think the position that you will, to your question, Charlie, you asked, okay, who's a guy that you haven't been talked about a lot that you see kind of stepping up and being someone that people take notice of? I think it's going to be players in the trenches because we've already pretty much told you who's going to be the starters with the receivers and the back four. I think on the front three, I think that is Alexis Johnson and Kyle Phillips along with Shaw Tuttle. But you're going to see some backup guys that's going to be in the rotation on the defensive line because those guys play a lot because coordinators want to keep those defensive linemen fresh to put pressure on the offense. You think about it. Offensive line, they can't rotate after every 2 or 3 plays. They can't do it. Defensive line, you can. You can do that. And so you can take advantage of West Virginia's offensive line there late in the game or maybe late in the drive. I'm looking for that name, though, that name that no one really talks about. We haven't really talked about maybe on this show. I'm looking for that name to be on the offensive line because there's just been so much cross-training with the players, whether it's Drew Richmond playing guard or playing tackle, or if it's Trey Smith playing guard tackle, or if it's Jerome Carvin playing, guard tackle, Jameer Johnson in the mix now, Kayron Calvary, hear about him, Marcus Tatum there tackle. There's so many guys that have been working and hearing good things from. I think that name may come from the offensive line.
I like this answer on Facebook from Roderick Fair. I think this is an answer to my question here, like who could be a guy that no one's talking about that could emerge. And he says the punter.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah,
you need guys punting and kicking both. I mean, it's going to be Brinson Maglia probably kicking.
It will be Brinson Maglia.
Yeah, I mean, almost definitely.
There's nobody else.
And punter, I guess Paxton Brooks, right?
It'll be Paxton Brooks or Joe Doyle.
And so, please let those guys step up and emerge as good players. Tennessee needs that.
I have not seen a field goal. I haven't seen anyone kick field goals in practice. I haven't paid attention, honestly, to the field goals. I have seen our punts, seeing Jordan Murphy and other guys catch punts. And the punts that are being kicked, they're nice and high. I have not noticed a kick to the point where I was like, ooh, oh, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue. I haven't had that thought at all. So looks like punting is going to be okay. Levi R., sorry, on the text box corrected me. We had a conversation off air about who's going to return kicks. I think you keep it at Ty Chandler, who did a good job last year. I remember when Derek Dooley was coaching, and he allowed guys like Derek Rogers to return kicks, and David did a great job. And the reason why Dooley wanted guys like Dave Rick, because collisions, you get some big-time collisions on kickoff return. And so you wanted a big body that could be able to withstand a hit, and you wanted someone on offense that's used to touching the football, carry the football. Jonathan Wade, which we're going to do our second part of the Swain Event Plus Players Only meeting for you this week and release that. Jonathan Wade used to always want to be on kickoff return. It's like, I'm the fastest dude on the team. Why I'm not on kickoff return? And I think the reason why is because he played defense. And defenders are not used to holding the ball. That's why when they get interceptions, it's easy to strip them because they're not used to securing the ball. They're not used to it at all. And so offensively, you want to have your players like Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, Marquez Callaway, Jordan Murphy returning kicks because they're used to handling the football. They're used to holding it high and tight. They're used to executing ball security, where those defensive guys, man, they hold it like a loaf of bread all the time. Look at those defensive linemen when they pick up the ball and start running. I mean, golly, they got it way out away from their body, and it's usually easy for an offensive player to come in and knock it down. Mad Dog said, what's the word on Jeremy Banks? You think he's ready? He is 4th or 5th.
Would you not try to redshirt him if you could?
No? If it comes to that, great. If it doesn't, then you don't want injury from him being in the rotation and get some carries.
As Austin said yesterday with JT Shrout, Jeremy Banks will benefit from the new redshirt rule to where you can throw Jeremy Banks in against Charlotte, against ETSU, against UTEP, or you could wait until November. What if two of your top 3 guys go down and you need him to be that second back? Then you can play him in November and still be able to redshirt him. So I'm sure he will play in football games this season and still get a redshirt if possible.
Daniel Dub says Quavaris Crouch is the exact running back type Pruitt staff looks for. I believe that's why they're going all in on his recruitment. No, absolutely. Crouch, you can take it as long as you need to make your decision. There will be a spot waiting for you if you decide to come to Tennessee. So, yes, Crouch is in – a lot of folks are asking about, okay, why is Tennessee not on the IMG running backs with Chris Winke's track record? Well, they like Crouch, and they're in good position for Crouch, and they really only need to take one more running back in this class, and they like Crouch. You do have a player that's already committed that could play running back for you, or he could play safety or linebacker for you. So there's a plan for the running back position. I got about 3 minutes left in the show. So if there's any Facebook Live comments, let's get those read. And anybody got anything on the text box, we'll try to get that read before we wrap up today's show.
I did see on the text box asking about Latrell Williams and Austin Smith as potential guys that we could be overlooking.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I just don't see Latrell Williams ever get to the point where he's going to crack the top 5 unless someone gets hurt. And since his injury, he just hasn't been the same player. I hate that because he's small. So without speed, without that speed that he came in with, man, it's hard for him to make an impact, especially with the rule changes that don't allow receivers to cut block as much. I mean, that's a big deal for these smaller receivers. You can't cut block, so you got to go in and battle those linebackers. Psh,
I'm sorry, but I don't trust Latrell Williams to block a Minkah Fitzpatrick type.
Well, I mean, you can cut, you can block them.
But like you just said, the new rule prevents that.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, really blocking is just getting in the way and not letting them make the tackle. That's the definition of a block. Like just getting in the way and blocking the defender from tackling. You know, you don't have to have a pancake every single time. For a receiver, it's actually the term is called stop blocking. You're just getting in the way. You're just a nuisance to the DBs. But I didn't like to just stop block. I like to knock dudes down and cut them and beat them up a little bit. I like to beat them up a little bit because it just helps you when it's time to pass. They're looking for that. Makes them on their heels a little bit.
Austin Smith,
man. To be honest, man, I haven't really seen much of Austin. Maybe it's just me not paying attention as much because there's so many things going on in practice. But I don't see why he can't play inside or be an outside backer. But yeah, I see him probably being inside, playing behind Batuli and Sapp.
And he has a history of switching from linebacker to defensive end during Butch's tenure. So he's kind of gotten work at both spots already.
I mean, he's a big body who just has not been able to stay healthy.
He can run too, man.
Yeah, he's had injury problems.
Roderick makes a good point on Facebook. He mentions Ryan Johnson, and I think he would be the
Ryan
guy
Johnson at guard too.
I think he's the one that we're kind of overlooking. You mentioned K'Ron Calvert, Jerome Carvin. They're not going to be able to play if Ryan Johnson doesn't get out of their way.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson is another one.
At right guard, he's doing really well.
Yeah, I miss him too. Ryan Johnson can be one of those names that we haven't talked about that can step up. Think about this. West Virginia down 5 scholarship DBs. What if Tyson Helton can exploit the matchup of their fifth best DB against our 4th or 5th best receiver? You know what that means? That means Jordan Murphy or maybe Jawan Jennings up against their corner. Obviously, there's some matchups on paper that favor West Virginia, but I thought about that. I wrote it down and didn't want to take it with me. You can't take timeouts to the locker room, so I want to throw that out before we wrap up today's show. Have a great day. Peace and love.